What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to Friday Night's Late Night Agenda, take two. And that isn't me giving you guys two fingers, I meant to say take two. Yeah, we are back. Sorry, there was a problem with my camera. I had to reset it. There we go. I wish I could blame Connor on this one, John, but this is a complete blame Craig, unfortunately, ladies and gents. But look, how are you? Some news coming through to us just as we're about to go live. There are reports that Sadio Mane and Joel Matip are set to be rested tomorrow against Brighton, folks. Thoughts that we're going to see Nat Phillips playing in this one, so... You know, let's wait and see if this one comes true or not. Nat Phillips and Takumi Minamino apparently are going to slot into the starting 11 tomorrow. Bit of a gamble again from Herr Klopp, but, you know, trusting the gaffer and all that stuff. Craig needed an emergency piss. No, it didn't, mate. It was just the camera. It went all blurry, and as you can see, it's much clearer now, so I just had to reset it. WFM up the Reds tomorrow, said James Quillen. We'll be watching the stream even though I can't watch the game. It's on BT. Lovely to have you with us for that one, man. I really appreciate your support as always. Again, thank you guys for coming back over to take two of tonight's Late Night Agenda. My team selection looks like it's gone out the window, folks, so there's no point in me even bringing up the image anymore because it looks like it's far from true. But some more news was coming to us just as we came on as well, and we do get these things often late at night, that there is serious interest from the Reds in following up on the interest in Erling Haaland. Of course, I don't know when that interest will be followed up on. I still think it'll be 2022, but he could be in line for a big move to the Reds. Again, as I get more on this, I'll bring it to you. I'm just getting little tidbits now at the minute, unfortunately. Oh, Keane, thank you, mate. Love you too, buddy. Really appreciate your support. Parabellum said Sadio needs a rest. Yes, I get that, man. The loads of them need a rest. Somebody put Salah as needed a rest at one point, which I thought was very strange. But look, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in tonight. Pay your bills, said Caspia. What bills? Bill's got nothing to do with my camera, mate, unfortunately. Craig, why do people think Jones is doing good at the moment? I think he's been average, said Dara Sports. I think he's been very good, mate, for a player of his age in that position coming through. He's not the finished product. He's not the finished article. Nobody, I think, would say that, Dara. But I think it's been a good step up for him. And I think the fact that he's getting more first-team football and more opportunities from the gaffer. I think, look, one thing I will always say about Curtis Jones is he never shies away from the ball. He always looks for it, always makes himself available. That's a player that's full of confidence for me. 2,000 fans back. Yes, that's class. It is class that they're going to have 2,000 fans back inside Anfield. Great news indeed. Haaland and Jota, Harvey Elliott, the future front three. Oh, man. Do you know what I mean? That's exciting, isn't it? Look, again, this poxy camera's gone blurry. I do apologise, folks. I don't know what's going on. Am I watching the Late Late Toy Show? No, mate. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm not watching the Late Late Toy Show. We have to remember he's very young. Hey, Craig, you'd be more excited about TMR. We move and grind. I don't know what. Tomorrow, you mean? Yes, we're going to go. We're going to get 3 points. We're going to win, aren't we? Aren't we, folks? I'm going to try and redo this just so my face becomes less blurry because it's annoying the hell out of me. Milner was outstanding at right back, said Jake. Yeah, he's alright, man. He can play anywhere, Jimmy Milner. You get a solid 7 out of 10 if he plays right back, centre back. Doesn't matter. It's Jimmy Milner. He can play in various positions. Right, I'm going to see if I bring my face closer and back out. Will it help zoom this in? Too many fans knocking our youngsters. Yes, Parabellum. That's a belter of a shout, mate. And it really annoys me when it happens as well. We all have this talk that we want the youngsters to come through, right? And then when they come through, you've got people pissing all over them and moaning about it. I'm with you, man. It's ridiculous to me. A love from Kenya. How are you, Hassan? Lovely to see you in as well, mate. Sean Couch said Salah or Mane. I don't know what the question is, mate. You've just given me two choices. If you're asking which one I prefer, I'm not touching that question, mate. I love them all. Josh, I'm really good, thank you, mate. How are you? Got to be competing with Harvey Elliott and Haaland and Jota. You're going to be Mustafa. Good man. Back yourself then if you are. I think Matip not starting will be dodgy. So do I, Michael. I think it's a big gamble from the gaffer to not start Joel Matip tomorrow. Maybe Matip felt something, I don't know. Maybe the sports science or the medical department are telling him that maybe there's an increased risk of him picking up an injury if he does play so many games in such a short period of time. We've known this about Joel Matip, to be fair. He is prone to a little muscle strain and knock, so maybe they're trying to just weigh up the balance here and give him a bit of a break and see if that'll help. We are down to the bare bones when it comes to centre backs, to be fair. Gar, my day's been alright, thank you, mate. How's yours been? Look, ladies and gentlemen, I meant to do this yesterday, but I completely forgot about it. So, if you fancy a little flutter for tomorrow, I've got the one for you. Mohamed Salah to score any time. was 7-2, now enhanced to 5-1, only for Anfield Agenda subscribers, only available on the link below. Thanks to our sponsors Boyle Sports for this one. As always folks, with these enhanced offers, maximum stake is a tenner, and it's open to UK and Irish residents age 18 plus. So let me know if you're on that. I'm on it and I fancy it, because Mohamed Salah has had 8 goal involvements in his 6 games against Brighton, 5 of them goals, 3 assists, so he does like playing against Brighton. So for me, if you fancy a little flutter, maximum a tenner. Again, bgamble.org, for all your tools for responsible gambling. What's the news on Gini? It looks like there's a bit of a stalemate in his contract right now. If I'm a betting man, and I am, I'm thinking that Gini Wijnaldum will see out this Liverpool deal and will move on in the summer. Where that is, I don't know, but it is important to point out as well that Gini is free from January onwards to sign a pre-contract with any club outside the Premier League, and I don't know, it's going to be a sad day if he does move on, but, you know, if he does, he's fulfilled his contract. But I'm baffled as to why the club haven't tried to sort this out quicker or sooner. Is anybody else just genuinely baffled by the whole situation? Like, if we take it back to the summer with Gini Wijnaldum, we were thinking, okay, if Thiago comes in, we'll probably see Gini head to Barcelona or wherever it might be. But he stayed put, and again has proven his worth to the manager, and I'm baffled on the Gini situation. I know that the club don't like to give massive bumper long contracts to people who've hit the age of 30 or go past 30, but Gini looks like the player to me that can play till he's 35, 36 at the very top level. Always consistent. I don't think anybody has played more games in the Premier League than Gini Wijnaldum. Maybe Bobby Firmino under the gaffer. I'm frustrated, bamboozled. I don't understand the logic of this unless there's something else up their sleeve. So I want to talk about something else tonight as well. Remind me later on to talk about the Fabinho situation, because I have a little take on that I wanted to put to you guys as well. I prefer to start Minamino and Gini come off the bench. You'll never walk alone 78. No problems with Takumi Minamino getting a chance, mate. None whatsoever. The fact Salah takes her penalties also adds to his chances of scoring. Yes, of course it does, man. That'll give us another opportunity there tomorrow. I think that's a good bet. To be fair, they asked us what we'd like to do, and we said to Boy, look, is there any chance we can enhance Mohamed Salah to score first goal? Because I think there's a very high probability of it, and to their immense credit, of course, Boyle Sports came straight back and said, no problem, guys, there you go. Again, that's why we love working with Boyle Sports, and that's why we have a maximum stake of a tenner on these things. We like people to have a bit of fun. We don't want people to be spending money they haven't got. Gini going on a free, I think, said Jaden. Burnley or Newcastle predictions. I don't know, man. That's just too far ahead. Let's just look at the here and now. I don't mean to be rude there, buddy. Sorry. He needs to get some game time, same as Henderson and others. Do you think Diogo Jota should be a starter? Yes and no. I mean, I would love to see the 4 lads starting. So I'd love to see Firmino, Salah, Mane and Jota all in the starting 11. But again, with the games coming thick and fast, if Klopp can get the midfield situation sorted out, and by that I mean get Henderson back, get Thiago available, then you can start to see more options for the gaffer to maybe just play 3 out of the 4 of them and rotate 1 in, 1 out every couple of games, which is ideally what he was brought in for. And there is no drop off in level there as well, which is fantastic with Diogo Jota. He's up for it. He's at it straight away. Understands the system, has the work rate, has the energy levels, has the press, and has the match intelligence. Yeah, I think if we can rotate those and give one of the guys a rest, I think we're in a good position. What have we got? I think Gini should be sold, or Origi should be sold, excuse me. I'm not going to argue with you, Hafid, mate, on that one. I would back you to say that Divock Origi, if the right offer came in, that offer should be considered. I think it would as well, you know. Cracks, it's gone well, thank you, buddy. How are you? Koeman, I think, has got to Gini. This is the interesting thing, Ricky, about the Barcelona situation. I wouldn't disagree with you, mate, that Koeman's probably had a word in his ear. But as I've always said to you guys, the situation in Barcelona is fluid, and they're having presidential elections, I think in the next month or two, which will be won by Victor Font. He's the front runner, he'll win the election, and his plan is to install Xavi as the manager of Barcelona. So whatever happened to Ronald Koeman, go back to the summer. I talked about this then. I told you guys he's only going to be there till the summer, then he's gone maximum, because they want to bring Xavi in as the next manager. So I don't know if that would be enough to maybe sway Gini to think I'll go to Barca. But look, whoever comes into Barca, Gini on a free contract, I'm sure they'd want him. I'm sure they'd snap him up. I'm amazed that the likes of Bayern Munich and stuff aren't having a word in his ear as well. Is he signing a new deal? It doesn't look that way, mate, unfortunately. There's an impasse now for whatever reason. If it's the club that just haven't offered him what he thinks he's worth. And to me, he deserves that bumper contract. He deserves to be on 130, 140, 150 grand a week. I think he's earned that. Who's my favourite player from Liverpool in the 2000s? Robbie Fowler is my favourite Liverpool player of all time. So, him, followed by Gerrard. Gini needs to be paid the same as Henderson. Oh, I think that's a fair statement. Henderson is the club captain. You've got to take that into consideration. But Gini deserves to be up there. We've often spoke about FSG and the way that they run the club and the contracts that they give our players. A lot of the time those contracts are highly incentivised to reward success, and Gini has been there for all the success and been a massive part of all the success. So for me, I'll be sad if and when Gini goes. I hope that they can sort this out and he stays, but I have a feeling that there might be something else in the works, which is why I wanted to talk about Fabinho. I want to ask you guys a question, and bear with me while I pose this question, because I know a lot of you are going to give me an instinctive answer of no. But I'm wondering, are we going to see a situation long term, and I mean past this season, where Fabinho becomes a centre-back and doesn't play in midfield? I know that's very difficult to contemplate because he's one of the best holding midfielders in Europe and an absolutely phenomenal footballer. But he's also an absolutely phenomenal centre-back. And the thoughts of him playing alongside Virgil van Dijk and then having, say, a Joe Gomez, and then maybe we go out and sign Per Schuurs or somebody else's backup, or maybe Billy Comedio, Sepp van den Berg, Reece Williams has a breakthrough and gives us more options. I'm just wondering, will we ever see Fabinho as a consistent centre-back when everybody's available? Because there's probably an argument to be made for it, you know. Him alongside Virgil van Dijk, to me, would be the height of stability. Now, if you have Henderson and Thiago ahead of them in midfield, with maybe Takumi Minamino, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita ahead of them again in the attacking midfield role, I don't know, I think you can make a good argument for that. How much is Gini on at the club? I think he's on about 100 grand, mate, but I could be wrong. That's off the top of my head now. I could be wrong on that. He could be on a little bit more. It'll be a mistake for us to let Gini go, said Jack. I think the same, Jack. I think it would be silly to let him go. I think Fabinho could make a great centre-back, said Will. The youth are looking good, said Dara. Keep him in midfield. Again, look, I can understand why anybody would say keep him in midfield because he's absolutely class in there, but I'm just wondering like how the dynamic will work in midfield. If you've got Fabinho, you've got Thiago, you've got Henderson, you've got James Milner, you've got Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, you've got Curtis Jones, you've got Naby Keita. Is Thiago going to be reinvented into a Regista style of six? Or are we going to see Thiago playing maybe, you know, a little bit further forward on the front foot? I'm very interested to see that as well. And of course, if Thiago is going to be a little bit more forward on the front foot, then you would need to hold the midfielder behind. But if Thiago is going to become a Xavi Alonso, Regista type of quarterback, then, you know, maybe there is an argument for playing Fabinho in defence. Maybe in midfield, if we're going away in Europe, have the two of them in there by all means. But it's just something I thought I'd ask. Would I buy a midfielder to replace Gini? Yes, I would, Benjamin. An attacking midfielder, Szoboszlai, a Houssam Aouar, somebody of that ilk. I know it's not a like for like, because I know Gini can be an 8, a 6, a 10, a false 9, whatever you need Gini to be. Absolutely true, Craig. Fabinho kept Vardy quiet as a mouse. And again, I spoke about this. Jamie Carragher did a very good section on this on Monday Night Football, or I think it was Monday Night Football. Anyway, it was a recent Sky show. And he spoke about the body positioning of Fabinho. I was going to say Firmino there. Fabinho in a defensive position. And he's always side on. So he can read the game, hold the line, but he can also be in a correct position to run if he needs to get back. Because with that high line, obviously our centre-backs need to, one, keep in line with the back four. They need to have pace, but they need to be able to read the game. And there's very few players on that Liverpool team that can read a game defensively as well as Fabinho. So that little piece with Jamie Carragher really opened my eyes to how well Fabinho can read a game defensively and how suited he is to playing in the centre-back. And as he gets older as well, you often find players drop back a little bit deeper. So maybe this could end up being a very, very happy accident. I don't know that we have Fabinho. I wouldn't mind seeing Fabinho alongside Van Dijk. I'm not going to lie to you. Just desperate to see Thiago, said Neil Davies. Man, so am I. Really desperate. What's happened with Gini? Again, mate, just a bit of an impasse in his contract situation. Alright now, Dara, relax there. Your thoughts on Klopp on FIFA and the other nominees for the FIFA Best Award? Look, yes, there's some great managers in there as you'd expect. Bielsa's in there, Klopp's in there. I would say you're probably going to see Hansi Flick win it for the way he turned around Bayern Munich this season. And look, I can't really argue about that. Bayern Munich were, I won't say a shambles at one point, but they started off the season horrendously. Then Flick came in, settled them down, and look, turned them into what they are. So I think, look, if Hansi Flick wins, I'm not going to argue about that. Obviously, Klopp has had a tremendous season, winning the Premier League with the Reds after 30 years of no title. That can't be forgotten about either. But you know, I'm trying to take off my red tinted glasses for this one. If you were Gini, would you go to Barcelona or stay at Liverpool? That's a difficult one, this, isn't it? I mean, you're talking about going to Barcelona to potentially play with Lionel Messi, to maybe fulfill a dream. Because Barcelona mightn't be in the greatest place right now, but it's still Barcelona. And they're not bigger than Liverpool to me. They're up there. Like, there's a whole heap of clubs. Bayern Munich, Juventus, Liverpool, Real Madrid, United. All right up there at the top tier of football. In regards to stature, I mean, not in regards to where they are right now. And Barcelona would have an attraction. So I can understand that from Gini, but I would expect more interest. I'd expect Juventus. I would expect the likes of Bayern Munich. I'd expect a lot more clubs to show interest in Gini come January time. Let's hope we don't lose to Brighton. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I've gone for a 2-0 away win tomorrow for the Reds against Brighton, but yeah, I don't know about that one. Again, we're going to be giving away some free bets in and around this game, folks, so make sure you go over to our Instagram account to even win a chance to win one of 5 free tenner bets that we're going to have ahead of the game against Brighton as well. I don't know if Mr. Crosby's already put the post up, but he will be putting it up soon, so let us know if you're on that bet, the special offer that we have, and of course go over and give Boyle Sports a follow and Anfield Agenda a follow on Instagram as well to look out for those free bets. We 50 quid's worth of free bets to give away for every single Liverpool League and Champions League game, with thanks to our sponsors at Boyle Sports. I love to see Liverpool versus Juve with our best squads. I really hope that if we play Bayern Munich in the Champions League this season, that we do it over 2 legs. I know a lot of people want it to be the final, but I don't know, I'm always wary of finals because they're never usually great affairs. If you get where I'm coming from, you never usually see the best of both sides of the final. You just see sides that want to get over the line, and rightly so. So I'd love to get them over 2 legs. I think that would be cracking. Gini should stay at Liverpool for his sake. I think deep down he'd love to. I get that feeling. But I understand as well that Gini probably wants what he feels that he's worth. Yeah, I've no arguments with this. This is, for me, a situation that Gini can't come out of badly, because either way he'll fulfill his Liverpool contract and head off, or he'll sign the new deal. So I've no issues with Gini whatsoever. Nothing but love and admiration for the man. We thinking a Jota brace? Oh, mind that at all, mate. It's looking like we're not going to see Joe Matip and we're not going to see Sadio Mane tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. That's the bit of information that's starting to trickle out now. I think LFC Transfer Room put out a post that said, from what they've been told as well, they're looking like we're going to see Nat Phillips tomorrow playing in the midfield role. We're going to see playing in the centre back role, and we're going to see Takumi Minamino playing in that midfield role. So I don't know, maybe midfield role for Taki, maybe one of the front 3. If he's taking Sadio out, then I don't know, what are we going to do with Diogo Jota? Is he going to go with Takumi Minamino attacking midfield role? Is he going to maybe put Diogo Jota on the left, Bobby Firmino through the centre? It is an intriguing one tomorrow, folks, but I had a crack at the starting 11 the other day. If you've watched the preview show, you'll have seen it. But I think it's time to make a little tweak to that. So I'm going to go for Alisson, Milner. It looks like it's going to be Phillips alongside Fabinho. So Robertson at left back, Henderson in midfield. I'm going to go with Gini in midfield, maybe Takumi Minamino ahead of them, and then let's go Jota, Firmino, Salah. That's my guess at a starting 11 tomorrow. And as always, I'm going to say the same thing. I don't care if we win 7-6. I don't care if we win 9-0. I don't care if we win off a deflection off someone's arse. As long as they come out there tomorrow with the 3 points, that's all at this stage of the season I'm worried about. We'll worry about the glorious performances and the fantastic ability. We get everybody back. We've got the Thiagos, we've got the Chamberlains, and everybody's fit and ready to go. I don't think he's injured, no, mate. I think that it's more a case of, I'm guessing, now this is complete guesswork. I would read this situation that maybe the sports science team or the medical department have said to Jurgen Klopp, looking at the statistics of Joel Matip's time here, that maybe maybe he's more likely to pick up a knock if he plays another extended 90 minutes in such a short period of time. Because modern science is so good these days with stuff like that they can look back over previous times and how many games he played, how many minutes he played, all that kind of stuff. Stuff that I've no clue about, but I just wonder if he's got the nod, maybe, because Kloppo did say that the medical department will pick his team. He said that in the press conference, and we all kind of laugh when he says stuff like that, but there's probably a good element of truth to it as well. And again, Sadio, I suppose, would just be for a rest, mate. Again, that's the word that's coming out at the minute. I would always love to see as many attacking players as we can get on the field. Liverpool fan Mark said, hope Phillips gets a new deal. We can't afford to release him at the end of the season. I see good things in his future. He's certainly an interesting one. He's definitely good enough to play at a high level, that Phillips. Now, whether he'd be good enough at Liverpool long term, I don't know. But insert username said future Liverpool 11. Right, let's get back up and read this, mate. 1 sec. He's gone for left wing Jota, striker Haaland, right wing Doku or Sancho, central midfield. He's gone for Camavinga, Curtis Jones, Ricky Puig. You're not getting Ricky Mona, mate. That's not going to happen. Left back Alphonso Davies. That won't happen either. Reece Williams, Upamecano, Neco Williams, and Pitaluga. What I think you've missed out there completely, mate, is Gio Reyna. Gio Reyna would probably be somebody that Klopp's going to want to bring into Liverpool in the future. There's no chance of Ricky Puig leaving Barcelona anytime soon, even in the next couple of years, I would say. But you never know with regards to Gio Reyna. He did sign a new contract with Dortmund, but he is a player that Liverpool are and will be monitoring. Cracking young player as well. Sorry, we need to get rid of Matip. He can't play 2 games in a row. Well, he pretty much played the entirety of last season, mate. So I disagree with you, but he is getting on as well. Do you know what I mean? He's 30 now, I think, Joel Matip. And look, Klopp has to follow whatever the sports science and medical department say as well. Be worse situation if he played Matip tomorrow and then he picked up a strain. He was out against Ajax and then we missed a lot of other games. Sorry, just got a message on my phone. What would I do with Neco Williams? Keep him at the club, man. Continue his development. You don't have to come from the academy and be the best right back in the world immediately. You can learn every day on the training pitch, watching clips of Trent Alexander-Arnold, and of course Nico will want to be his own man as well. So I'm expecting him to come through, but I just want people to give him time. It's people think that Trent just became the player that he is overnight. He didn't. He did it through hard work, through good coaching, and through trial and error. He made mistakes. He learned from those mistakes. And I think Neco Williams will do the same. I just don't like people getting on his back. What's my thoughts on Liverpool's kits? Love the home kit. Love the away kit. I'm not mad on the third kit whatsoever. Per Schuurs news. I covered that the other day, mate. There's a lot of talk that Liverpool are about to put in a €30 million bid for Per Schuurs. I think that's the figure that would tempt Ajax to sell. Again, talking about Per Schuurs, he's a centre-back. He just turned 21 yesterday. He was at Liverpool on trial back in 2018. He was a Fortuna Sittard player at the time, a Dutch club. Liverpool were impressed by what they seen in that trial, but decided that for his development, it was best for him to go back to Holland. So he spent some time with Fortuna Sittard. They made him captain. Then he went to Ajax, and Liverpool have continued monitoring him. And look, we'll get a good close look at him on Tuesday, won't we, in the Champions League? So yeah, keep an eye on this one, folks, because it makes a lot of sense to me. Like, we spoke about Upamecano, we spoke about Ben White, but Ben White probably not available, and Upamecano, maybe it'll be a summer thing. I think this Per Schuurs thing makes sense. I'm not saying it's a done deal, far from it, but I do think it's certainly one that we should be keeping an eye on. And we know the number that would tempt Ajax to sell as well. Nico, so much potential. Yes, he does. Absolutely. 100% agree with you. Annoying to see people talking crap about him. He's a young lad, huge potential, and he's got to live up to Trent. Yeah, exactly. It's like when Hendo came in, mate, after Gerrard being captain. It was very difficult. Massive weight on his shoulders. But he did his own thing. He was his own man. And eventually everybody starts to see Hendo for the leader that he is in his own way. And I love that. I love that he's finally getting the props he deserves. And I've no doubt that Nico will come good at some point. Now, I'm not saying his future will be at Liverpool. Maybe Nico Williams does move on down the line. I don't know. But I think that it's very unfair for people to be getting on his back. There's nothing in this game that impressed me. Okay, well, I accept everybody's different views on this, mate. What I will always say is, if he's impressing his national manager enough, and he's impressing Jurgen Klopp enough, and he's impressing Pep Linders enough, then, you know, they know a lot more about the game than you or I or most people in the chat here will ever know. So I'll always trust the manager's opinion on a player. Watched Nexo against Atalanta. Was not impressed with him. Good for somebody his age. Look, nobody was good, mate, against Atalanta. Let's be fair here. The entire team was shocking. And I know that both the Atalanta goals came down that side, but I mean, for the second goal in particular, I think that if we're looking to point fingers there, one, Robbo shouldn't have been left at the back post with somebody of the size of Ilicic towering over him for a header. And two, Reece Williams should have actually tracked the goal scorer and didn't. And again, that's another, and I'm not blaming him on it, because it's another learning moment for Reece Williams with regards to playing at centre back, and I've no doubt that'll be pointed out to him. So again, it's just about learning moments, ladies and gentlemen. And look, when we have our prime 11 out there, when we've got, let's say, Trent, Robbo, Van Dijk, Fabinho, let's say, Thiago, Trent, or Thiago, Hendo, Jota, Firmino, Mane, Salah, then, you know, then we're on the pig's back. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Important to remember as well, with Spurs playing, or Chelsea playing Spurs this weekend, somebody's dropping points there. So if we can pick up a win tomorrow, pressure goes back onto Spurs and Chelsea, and let's see what they can do. But somebody's dropping points there. Also, we'll be covering that game on Sunday, by the way, over in Mundo Sporto. That's our second channel that we cover non-Liverpool games on. So if you are joining us for the first time, you don't know about Mundo Sporto, hope to see you over there for the game on Sunday. We'll be starting our coverage about 15-20 minutes before kick-off. There is a link to subscribe to Mundo Sporto and to Anfield Agenda Clips, our other new account, in the description of the stream as well. Of course, there's also a clip or a link there for the special offer as well from Boyle Sports, the enhanced special for tomorrow, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. Ajax goalie has a lot of potential. Is that Onana? Is he still at Ajax, mate? I mean, my memory's shocking about these things. If it is Onana, definitely a lot of potential there. Chelsea looked at him, I think, before making a move for the keeper that they signed, Mondi. Before they signed him, they were looking at Onana, I think, and he will move. He's a very good keeper. Who do you think will win the league? Honest opinion. Liverpool. And I'm not saying this as a biased Liverpool fan. I can't see anybody else that will be able to have the level of consistency that we will have in the league this season. I can't see past us winning it. I honestly can't. That is my honest opinion. And that won't change until, you know, we're not mathematically capable of doing it. And I just look around the league and I see good teams. I see Spurs in cracking form, got some good players starting to get a rhythm together. I look at Chelsea and the squad that they've assembled, and I give them their fair dues. They're a fantastic squad. I think next year Chelsea are going to be a massive force in this title race. This year they could be there or thereabouts, but I think one or two injuries to the Spurs, they'll drop off a little bit. Manchester City are already playing catch up. United, I think their best hopes this season will be to make a run for the Champions League places if they can do that. Arsenal, I don't know what to expect from them, to be honest, this season. And honestly, I can't see past Liverpool being in the title race anyway. I think if anyone finishes above Liverpool, they're winning the title, put it that way. Thoughts on David Alaba to Chelsea? I know that they're about to trigger the second year in the contract for Thiago at Chelsea. Thiago Silva, I mean, obviously. So I don't know if they're going to go out and bring Alaba in then on top of that. Barcelona, look, let's be frank with the David Alaba situation. He wants to go to Spain. David Alaba wants to play in Spain next. That's his wish. Whether that's at the Bernabeu or the Nou Camp, I don't know. But that is his wish, that if he doesn't sign on with Bayern, he wants to go to Spain. Now, if there's no clubs in Spain willing to take him, then, of course, the likes of maybe Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, they'll probably be in or around. And certainly his agent will probably be putting his name around. And he's a good player. Look, again, if they do sign him, fair play, he's a good player. Spurs look like the only team close. But look, Spurs are probably a Harry Kane injury, and I don't have the stats to hand, but to my memory, Harry Kane usually picks up a couple of injuries in a season, usually at kind of important times for Spurs as well. So I expect that to happen, and I expect Bale to pick up a knock, and I expect Spurs to drop off a little bit, but I think they'll get a Champions League place. Are Man City still title challengers? At this moment in time, what are they? 8 points behind us with a game in hand, if I'm correct. I certainly know they'll be 5 when they win that game in hand, so you can never write them off, but they can't really be dropping many more points because they've already had a rocky start to the season. And look, I hope we walk away with the league again this year, but I do think it will be closer. And we've no divine right to win it. I'm not saying that Liverpool, I'm not arrogant enough to sit here and say, oh, Liverpool, just give them the title. No, it's going to be difficult, but I believe when it comes down to those crunch moments, when it comes down to the 1 or 2 moments that might swing the title our way, this is it. Let's look at who we've played so far, folks. We've gone to the Etihad. We picked up a point. We've gone to Goodison. We picked up a point. Should have had 3, but we all know that story. We've beaten Chelsea away. We've beaten Arsenal at home. So we've had a difficult start to the season. More difficult than I think. And we've beaten Leicester as well, of course, and beaten them convincingly. So we've had a difficult start, and we're still right at the very top of the table there with Spurs, who I think it's fair to say have had a bit of a more friendly start to the season. So look, I don't know. I don't write us off. That's all I'll say. City don't have a number 9. Well, look, I've got no sympathy for Manchester City when it comes to transfers, mate. They've spent enough money. Do I think Thiago play versus Ajax? I'm not gonna lie. I'm baffled. I'm being stonewalled trying to find out information on Thiago. I don't have a clue when he'll be back. I don't have a clue if he'll be back against Ajax. I don't have a clue if he'll be back against Wolves next week. What I do know, though, is Wolves next week will be the first game to see fans back inside Anfield. 2,000 fans will be available. There's information on the club's website about how you can get into the ballot for those tickets. You have to be either a season ticket holder or, I believe, have gone to 19 games in the 18-19 season, if my memory's right on that one. But again, all the information is there, liverpoolfc.com. Go check it out. And if you are lucky enough to get one of those tickets, enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it. Am I confident against Brighton? Yes, but I'm always nervous with these early kickoffs. I don't know why. They always make me a little bit nervous. Don't forget Leeds as well. Another tough game. Absolutely, man. First game of the season. Cracker of a game as well. And a very difficult one. So yeah, we've had a fairly tricky start. What else we got? But most of the team players out, we're doing pretty damn good. Yes, Rob, we are, man. We're definitely doing well. Right, stream starting to pick up now. 379 people in with us. Welcome everybody. I hope you are enjoying the stream. Please do hit the subscribe button and drop a like on the video as well. And look, one more time, folks, before I finish up on tonight's stream, and I'll be doing another 10 or 15 minutes. Again, our enhanced special offer for the game against Brighton, with thanks to our sponsors Boyle Sports, is Mohamed Salah to score first. Was 7-2, now 5-1. Maximum stake on this one is a tenner, folks. And as always, begambleaware.org is there for all your responsible gambling tools. This one is open to UK and Irish residents only, age 18 plus. Link in the description. And look, you guys don't know the support we've had from Boyle Sports. They've been amazing sponsors for us. They've given us a whole new opportunity to push this channel on. So if you are going to have a little flutter on the game, why not give Boyle Sports a try? Don't forget, if you sign up to them for your first time as well, once you lodge your tenner and make your bet, you'll also receive a free bet. That varies depending if you're in the UK or Ireland, but both, you'll get a free bet from both as well. And again, you'll always have these enhanced specials available just for us here on Anfield Agenda. Let us know if you're on it as well, by the way. I'm on it, Connor's on it, I think his missus is on it, a couple of my mates are on it, so let me know if you're on that one. We had a winner, of course, with Diogo Jota at 7-1 to score first against Leicester, because the own goal didn't count, of course, so that one paid out for Anfield Agenda subscribers. I'm a season ticket holder, you jammy gay. I mean that in a loving way, of course. If you get a ticket, man, enjoy it, and enjoy it some more. Underestimate Brighton and we'll be like Villa again. Are you somebody that's just negative by nature, mate? Or, I don't know. Why are we pissing and moaning about a result that hasn't happened yet? I mean, just go into the game confidently. Nobody underestimates anybody in the Premier League, mate. It's a difficult league. Our manager's not arrogant enough to underestimate any team. Yes, it's a bit of a bonus for us that Tariq Lamptey isn't going to be available for Brighton because of the suspension that he's undergoing. It'll be nice to see Adam Lallana again, albeit I hope he's on the losing side tomorrow. And I'm expecting a difficult game, but we should be able to go to Brighton and pick up the points, but we've no divine right to. We've got to go out battle them, outwork them, outscore them, of course, and why not? We should be beating them, but, you know, the game isn't played on paper, it's played on the pitch. Gini should renew his contract. I mean, Thiago's kind of injury prone. Again, I think the Genie situation is one that makes me scratch my head. I think he should be rewarded with the deal that he wants. Within reason, of course. He should be up there with the higher bracket of earners in Liverpool, I believe. I think he's earned that right. Oh, the Maradona thing, man. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? To lose one of the greats of the game like Maradona this week. It's just 2020 has just been a horrendous year all round. 3 days of mourning, obviously, in Argentina for the loss of Diego Maradona, and he was buried today. And look, it is very sad. And again, rather than trying to dwell on the negative, let's just know that we got to see that man perform the way he performed. We got to see him play the beautiful game the way it was supposed to be played. And I don't know, I always try and look back on the positives in these ones, and to be able to have watched Diego Maradona and just seeing people light up wherever he went, anywhere as well. The man is just, he's iconic. There's no other word for it. Iconic. Leicester's a tough side, and you see what we did to them. Exactly. I don't understand why people go negative. You can't be negative about something that hasn't even happened yet. Do you know what I mean? It's also very difficult to be happy and confident about something that hasn't happened yet, but you can't be negative about it. Much love from Belfast, Craig. Much love right back to you, mate. Thank you so much for watching. As Daniel said, R.I.P. Maradona as well. Tala said, Craig, I've signed Schuurs on Football Manager. He's fantastic. Good scout, mate. Keep us informed on how that one works out. Craig, what do you think of the images and vids being released on Oxlade-Chamberlain? He's looking sharp in the gym. Yeah, it's great. I'm all for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain coming back. He gives us a little bit of something different from midfield if we needed it. You know, I often talk about the dynamism, the directness that Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain brings, that explosive power, and he's also not afraid to have a shot from distance as well. So, yeah, I'm delighted that Chamberlain is stepping up his rehab, and, you know, hopefully we'll get some great performances out of him as the season goes on. Why isn't Matip playing? I don't know. Ask Klopp. I'm gathering it's something to do with the amount of minutes, but, you know, maybe we'll hear from the manager when he announces his 11 tomorrow as to why he's gone with the selection. All I can think of is that the medical department have had a word with him and said, Gaffer, he's likely or more likely to pick up an injury if he doesn't get a rehabilitation or a rest period in between games, and that's all I can think of. But I'm sure Phillips will come in and do a fine job. He'll have Fabinho alongside him anyway to steer him through the game, so I'm sure it'll be grand. He died on your birthday. Wow, that's unfortunate, Ricky. And that's also the date that George Best passed away. 15 years actually to the day since unfortunately Diego passed away the other day. What else is there? Matip struggles to play more than a game a week. He's getting on in age as well. Like, it's important to remember that. It's not uncommon. And look, it's just a crappy situation we find ourselves in, and the centre-back situation isn't really going to get much better. There's 5 weeks until the window opens, so, you know, we'll just get through these 5 weeks, and hopefully they have a deal, or will have a deal in place for a pair of Schuurs or whoever it might be in January. And I would imagine if they are going to try and do something, they're going to try and do it early, because there's no point in hanging off. Johnny Boy said, I think we can do Brighton. So do I, even with a thin squad. Look, I'm not being disrespectful to Brighton, because they're in the Premier League. They're obviously a good team, and Potter's going to get them playing football in the right way, and they're bringing through some good youngsters there. Tariq Lamptey obviously came from Chelsea. Ben White, this is his first season really with Brighton after that loan that he had with Leeds for a few years. So they've got good mix of experience as well, with Adam Lallana coming into that squad. What else is there? Much appreciated for answering my messages. Always try to, mate. Always. And thank you for being with us on the stream. Means a lot to us. If Gini leaves, who replaces him? Curtis Jones, maybe. Maybe Houssem Aouar. Maybe we'd go out and do like Soboslai, that guy from from Salzburg. Or there's numerous other attacking midfielders that we could probably look to. And then again, we might have players that Klopp fancies coming through from the underage level. So, you know, times are good for Liverpool. I think our squad, our depth is being tested right now, and I think the lads are doing as well as they can. I think we'll still top the Champions League group, even with what's apparently a bad start to the season. We're still top of the league with Spurs. We've played some difficult games, and I don't know, I just think it's a race, not a sprint. So let's just see where we are come next May. My lights flashing in the background? It's absolutely not. Do I think Liverpool can win the Champions League? Yes. Again, the Champions League is very difficult because we all know it just takes one moment, like the game against Atleti, where things can turn. And yeah, so yes, we can win it, but I think if I was to say which one's more likely, I would go towards the Premier League because of our consistency. And you can have an off week and come back, but you know, in the Champions League, just that one moment, then you're out. So that's what makes it exciting, though, isn't it? What time is the game tomorrow? 12:30 p.m, mate. 12:30 p.m. Do I think Gomez or Matip should play tomorrow? Well, how's Gomez going to play, mate? He's out with his knee injury, so Joe Gomez ain't going to be playing anytime soon. He's out for the foreseeable. It looks like it'll be Nat Phillips alongside Fabinho tomorrow. Well, mate, it's a problem with you then, and not us, because nobody else is having the light issues CG game, and so it must be at your end, pal. It would have been reported to me by more people if it was flashing. Maybe just give it a refresh. Do I think Liverpool will buy a backup keeper to replace Adrian? I think I've answered this one a few times, Benjamin. I have a little bit of a different outlook on this one. I don't see the reason why we keep bringing through younger keepers if we don't eventually give them an opportunity, even as backup. So I hope Quivi and Kelleher gets the nod, and then maybe Gianluigi Pillaluga a bit further down the line. But it'll be interesting to see what we do if and when Adrian moves on. Gomez will play in a wheelchair. I'm sure that he won't, mate, but yeah, no, he won't. Nat Phillips will have the physicality to up against Mopey. Yeah, Nat Phillips is no shrinking violet. I think he's a 6'2", 6'3". He's starting to fill out now as well. He's 23 years of age now, I think, and he hasn't put a foot wrong when he's been asked to step into that Liverpool defence. Now look, he may not be a Virgil van Dijk, but again, if the gaffer puts his trust in him, I think we should as well. Do you think it'll be wrong to start Henderson tomorrow if he's just back from injury? No, I don't think it will be wrong. Henderson's a naturally fit dude, and he's only coming back from injury, yes, but he wasn't out that long, so he doesn't have to play too much catch up. So I think he'll be alright. We don't really have much other choice, to be fair. Would I take Tielemans? Somebody asked me this one earlier on. Yuri Tielemans is a good footballer. He's gone through a very good period right now at Leicester City and of course with Belgium, but I don't know. I don't know on Yuri Tielemans. Sometimes I look at him and think he's quality, and other times I look at him and think that he goes missing. And he looks a little bit moody to me as well. I don't know if I'm just imagining that. Of course, Price would come into this as well. He wouldn't be top of my list, but I could understand why he would be linked with Liverpool. But then again, to get him out of Leicester to Liverpool, I would imagine would take an awful lot of money. Because Leicester, I know they do sell players on, but usually when they do, it's at a big markup. So I can imagine the fee to get him would be astronomical. Hence the reason I think Husimawar or Soboslai or any others, just numerous amounts of midfielders I think we go after. As with Jota and some other previous signings, do you think we'll put off an out of nowhere signing? I love them, mate. Yes. Again, I keep pointing to the fact that the ones about Jota and Fabinho, they came via Gestifute, which is George Mendes' agency, and somehow they were able to keep both of those deals quiet, which is brilliant. And yeah, it's lovely when we get a surprise like that, isn't it? A player out of nowhere that we weren't expecting to sign. Because again, nobody had a sniff about either of those two. Liverpool turned down the opportunity to do a Netflix-style documentary, Dara. The opportunity was there, I think, from Netflix or Amazon Prime. I can't remember which one. Now, I know we did be in Liverpool before, which was cringy as fuck, but the opportunity was there, but Jurgen Klopp had no interest in it. I don't know when Thiago will be back, buddy. I wish I had the answer for you. I'm as frustrated and as excited to see him as everybody else, but doesn't look like it'll be tomorrow. And if he doesn't start training yet, it may well not be Tuesday as well. Thoughts on Daniel Podence? Again, only coming through at Wolves. It looks good. They've got some good young talent there. Neto as well at Spurs, a good player. Or not at Spurs, at Wolves, is a good player. But they're a club that are in a building phase as well. I was surprised we were able to get the Diogo Jota out of Wolves, to be honest with you. Would you like to see Liverpool all or nothing? I'd love to see it as a fan, of course. You love to see behind the scenes and as much stuff on the club as you want. I'd love Liverpool to do one of those documentaries, but I can understand why Kloppo would say no to it as well, because maybe it'll give insight that he doesn't want given. Do you think the game against Brighton could be a chance for Firmino to shine? Yeah, I hope so. You know me, I love me a bit of Bobby Firmino. And nothing makes me happier than when Bobby's sticking one in the net and we're all smiling and looking at that big, beaming, beautiful smile of his, and everyone's happy. You can see what it meant to him and everybody when he scored recently. Kloppo's even smiled on the sideline. I've already answered the Nico Williams question, Oisin, twice tonight already, buddy. Klopp is too professional to let the media in behind our scenes. Yeah, I think so, Ricky. I don't think it's his cup of tea. Base Face in Space, how are you, my friend? So, Craig, if you were to sign any active former Liverpool player, who would it be? God, that's a good question. Any active former Liverpool player? I could end up being an absolute hypocrite here, by the way, so I'm trying to think somewhere else on this one, because, first thing straight to mind, Coutinho comes into your head, but I don't really want Coutinho back. Probably Sterling. Yeah, probably Raheem Sterling. Obviously, I don't like the way he left, but I can't deny the quality of him as a footballer, so probably Sterling. Do you think Haaland will come to Liverpool? I'm getting more and more confident on it, mate, as the weeks go by. Put it that way. And I will give you any more updates as and when I have them, but I'm very, very, very convinced that Liverpool are going to be in the argument or the conversation to sign young Erling Haaland. When that might be, I'm guessing it'll probably be 2022. And at that time as well, we'll be getting to the point where you like Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah, Bobby Firmino will probably have, 2 to 1 year left on the contract. So I think at that point as well, we'll probably see one of them move on. Congrats to Alisson on his 100th appearance for the Reds this weekend. Great shout that, mate. And yes, congrats to our big, beautiful Brazilian goalkeeper. What a signing he has been, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, you always feel that little bit more calm when Big Ali's in net. So yeah, congratulations to Alisson on getting the 100 appearances up for the Reds. And here's to many more. It's got to be Lazar. Suso, yeah, he's done alright, Suso, but again, he hasn't really lit the world up. I know he's had a very good spell at AC Milan, did alright at Sevilla. Where is he now, actually, Suso? I think he moved in the summer somewhere, didn't he? Which national team do I support? Well, I'm Irish, mate, so Ireland. What's the latest on Upamecano? Looking more and more likely, Ali, that he's probably either Manchester United or Bayern Munich bound, from what I'm hearing anyway. It is what it is. I mean, if Liverpool don't think he's the right fit or don't want to spend the money or think there's a better option elsewhere, there you go. I don't know if Upamecano will move in January or if it'll be in the summer when the release clause kicks in. He's not the priority signing, Naveen. He absolutely is not the priority signing. Maybe you want him to be the priority signing, but he's definitely not the one that Liverpool are looking to bring in, from what I'm hearing. Anyway. Again, I'd be happy to be wrong because Upamecano looks like a quality player, but centre back is probably the priority position. I would agree with you on that one. Who do you think should be Liverpool should buy in January? Again, I've given my list before, mate. I don't know too much about Schuurs, to be honest. I know about his background, and I know that the club have been monitoring him, and I know that he's impressed all the way through. I like Ben White. I've said that time and time again. He's a little bit on the shorter side at about 6'1". Pau Torres, I don't mind either. Again, probably a little bit on the lightweight side. But again, he could work on his upper body strength. And I'm wondering, like somebody suggested earlier on, are we going to see a transfer out of nowhere that none of us expected? Would I loan Takumi Minamino? Why would I loan him anyway? No. I wouldn't loan Takumi Minamino anywhere, mate. I think Takumi Minamino is going to get plenty of game time this season, starting tomorrow by the looks of it. We can't afford to be loaning out players like that. We need the bodies in at the minute. When will Shaqiri be back? Again, Ali, I'm sitting to wait like you. There's no information coming out of the club on injuries. None. No information. Other than that they're not going to be available now. Shaqiri, here's the story with Shaqiri. He picked up a knock while away with Switzerland. He didn't even realise he had the knock. Felt a little something in training. Said he felt it. The club sent him for a scan and it showed that he picked up a little muscle strain or knock 5 or 6 days previously. So he's going to be kept out until that clears up. And when that will be is your guess is as good as mine. I would imagine it won't be too long because it wasn't that serious. But Maybe next weekend, I don't know. It would have been nice to have him available for Atalanta, because I think he could have made an impact in that game. Am I going to watch the Late Late Toy Show? Absolutely not, no. Grujic got sent off for Porto the other day. Nice. I like a bit of snidiness in a footballer, so good. I wouldn't mind Ismaila Sarr at Anfield. I don't, from the response we got the last time, mate, when we went in and questioned Watford about Ismaila Sarr. Again, going from an article, I believe, by Melissa Reddy at the time, Liverpool were a little bit shocked by the figure that was thrown at them, and also the way the deal they would want that to be structured. I think they wanted most of it up front, which of course Liverpool simply weren't in a position to do, but we signed Diogo Jota, so it's all good. What are my thoughts on the Irish national team? Oh man, I need a half an hour to go through this. The FAI is a shambles. There has been nowhere near enough investment in grassroots level football. The League of Ireland needs to be addressed and needs to be given more of a limelight as well. There's so much I would say, man, about the Irish situation right now, but we're in a point now where we're transitioning from the team that we had into a new younger team, and I just question, are the calibre of players available for Stephen Kenny to actually make a difference? But look, unfortunately, the way the FAI has been run hasn't been great. I don't care what centre back we get as long as it's Klopp's first choice, and Klopp I trust. I'm the same on that one, Johnny boy. I'm with you on that. Mr. Morrissey, how are you, sir? Tala again with the thumbs up. Thank you, mate. Right, ladies and gentlemen, anybody on the special before I finish up tonight? Again, for those coming in late, Mohamed Salah to score first against Brighton tomorrow afternoon, enhanced from 7-2 to 5-1, only available to our subscribers via the link in the description. Thank you to our sponsor Spoil Sports for that. Tenner maximum stake on it, UK and Irish residents age 18 plus, and always gamble safely and responsibly. The FA Cup has already begun, Ali, but the third round is when the Premier League teams go into it, buddy. So hasn't started yet for us, but the earlier rounds of the FA Cup have been underway and are still underway. When will we see a Thiago Jota assist? Hopefully soon, man. Hopefully. I'm at a point I'm almost dreaming about Thiago starting at this point. Like, I'm going to bed and I'm whistling and humming the song and seeing him out there with his little samba style, and I'm looking forward to it. We have so many players on the right flank. Salah, Trent, Williams, Elliott. Players on that can't play on the right side. Fabinho, Gomez, Oxlade, Chamberlain, Jota. We need other players on the right side. But we don't need other players, excuse me. Will Liverpool ever get the opportunity to celebrate the title with the fans? Yeah, I mean, I'd almost forgotten about that. Not that we'd won the league, of course, but the celebration part. And the club have always said that when it's safe to do so, they would celebrate with the fans. And I would say that, you know, whenever everything gets resolved, they will do something. I'm sure the club will live up to the word on that one. But look, when will that be? Unfortunately, none of it. Hopefully it's going to be a back-to-back celebration, mate. That would be a little bit better, wouldn't it? If the world, you know, if we're in May time and maybe there's a vaccine starting to roll out or something like that, and they could do it a lot more safely, that'd be great, especially if it was a back-to-back one. Thoughts on #United? Brilliant. It's brilliant. It's a lovely story. I love the name as well. I think what they're doing at #United is simply phenomenal. To build up an esports team, to build up a women's team, an underage team as well, a men's team like they've done, it's a massive credit to them. And I wish them every success with what they're doing. It's a lovely story. And yeah, long may it continue. That's why we have to win it again, said Jack. That's it, man. Back to back. Can I get an amen? Back to back. If Minamino wasn't good enough, he wouldn't be a Liverpool player. Exactly. And again, £7.25 million. An absolute bargain. And will get there. May need to work on his body strength a bit. May need to work on a few tactical tweaks. But he'll get there. He'll get there. Do you think we should loan a midfielder? In or out? The answer to both would actually be no. I don't like loan systems, mate. I don't like loaning in a player because, you know, that only works one of two ways. He does alright or does well and the price goes up, or he doesn't do well and you send him back, in which case, has it really worked out? Have you blocked the pathway of a younger player coming through? It's a difficult one, but I'm not really a massive fan of loans. Unless I don't mind players being loaned out, of course, to gain experience. That's completely different. We can celebrate this season with the fans. Hopefully, Johnny, man. Hopefully. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call that one a night. Again, get on that special if you fancy a little flutter for the game tomorrow. There's a link in the description. Don't forget to sign up or subscribe to our second channel, Mundo Sporto, because I'm going to be covering Chelsea versus Spurs on Sunday on Mundo Sporto. Again, there's a link in the description. And of course, the Anfield Agenda Clips channel has just been started as well. We've gone past 600 subs on that one. So again, if you fancy some shorter versions of our content, go over there as well. I've got lots of stuff coming up for you guys next week. I'm recording a massive interview that I can't tell you guys about yet, but I did tell our Discord group about it because, you know, they are members. They do pay $4.99 a month for this little bits of information and stuff. So if you want to become a member, click the join button. You get use of all the emojis. You know at this point. You've heard me say it all before. Ladies and gentlemen, have a cracking Friday night. Thank you for tuning in. Lots of love to you all. I hope to see you tomorrow for the game. I'll be live from 12 p.m. on here. Make sure you've got your notifications turned on. Of course, the game starts at 12:30. Fingers crossed for another 3 points. I'm going to be lashing the coffee into me because I won't be awake yet at that point. So, again, lots of love to you all. Thank you very much to our sponsors, Boyle Sports, for their ongoing support of the channel. And to you guys.